Let's create a simple, cool inflated text in Blender. First, select everything you're seeing by pressing A and delete it. Now, add some text. Focus on the text by pressing the period key on the numpad, and switch to the top view by pressing 7. To edit the text, press Tab to enter edit mode and type whatever comes to mind. I'm just going to stick with the word text. Next, open the Properties panel and click on the Data tab. Open the Font drop-down and click the folder icon to choose a custom font. I pre-downloaded some fonts, and I'm using Cocaina from the font. It's simple and cute, right? Now let's work on the geometry. Lower the resolution to 1 to reduce the number of polygons. Then add a reasonable amount of extrusion to give your text some depth. Once you're happy with the text format, right-click the text and convert it into a mesh. To center it, right-click again and select Set Origin, Geometry to Origin. If you switch to Edit mode by pressing Tab, you might notice the mesh looks a bit rough. To fix that, add a Remesh modifier from the Properties panel. Enable Smooth Shading and reduce the voxel size until you achieve a nice shape. I found around 001 works well. Check your mesh in Edit mode. It should look much better now. Time to apply the modifier. Instead of clicking through menus, hover over the modifier and press Ctrl+A. These shortcuts really do make life easier. Next, go to the Physics tab and add cloth. We'll keep most settings as is. Quality steps around 5 or 6 are fine. Scroll down to the pressure section and add a value of 50. Feel free to experiment with this number to see what works best for you. In the Cache tab, set the simulation to start at frame 1 and end at frame 20 or 10 if you prefer a shorter simulation. Finally, click on Bake and wait for the process to finish. While the baking process is underway, why not hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Once baking is complete, press the space bar to preview your result. Now, apply the cloth simulation by clicking on Apply, then set the origin to the geometry again. Add 2 levels of subdivision by pressing Ctrl+2, and finally, smooth out the shape. Rotate your text 90 degrees on the x-axis. Head over to the Material tab to add a simple, attractive material. Change your viewport to Material Preview. Select a base color you like and reduce the roughness. Now your inflated text has a fantastic material. Let's render the scene quickly. Scale the mesh by pressing S and dragging your mouse. To add a background, insert a plane, rotate it 90 degrees on the x-axis, and move it slightly behind the text by pressing G and then Y. Next, add a camera and switch to camera view by pressing 0. Adjust the camera as needed, and give the background plane its own material. Finally, add a light source and switch to the rendered viewport to see your final result. And that's it. You've created a fun, inflated text in Blender. Enjoy your creation, and thanks for watching. See you soon.